another great resource to share with you, and to help me in doing that, I have Natalie Macneil coming to us all the way from Waterloo, Canada, or Waterloo, Ontario in Canada. And Natalie is the co-founder of Women Entrepreneurs Mastermind. Natalie, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me today.
So, Natalie, in the US, women are starting businesses at 1.5 times the national average, and in Canada, I believe it's about 2 times the national average. Women are starting online businesses more and more. And I wanted to know why is now a great time for women to consider starting an online business?
Great question. The barriers to entry right now are so low, the costs are so low to take your business online. And women already make up 56% of social media users. The question is, how many of those women are profiting from their social media use? And that answer is not too many. Even though we are using social media at an extraordinary rate, we're not necessarily using it to build our businesses and our brands in the way that we should be. And we sometimes just don't talk about ourselves enough. Compared to men, they always seem to be putting themselves up on this platform, and they're not afraid to say, hey, these are my credentials. Hey, this is what I'm good at. If we are dominating social media, we need to start using it, using the internet for actually building our brands and our businesses. So there are some really great opportunities right now to take your business online. And like I said, low barriers to entry, low costs, and really the sky is the limit.
Very interesting what you just said. And indeed, if women are representing 56% of social media use, that means they're spending time on social media. But if they're not benefiting or profiting from it in a financial way, then why is the question.
Exactly.
And they definitely need to do something about that, and I'm sure that we're going to be able to discuss this a little further.
Yes.
So in terms of women considering launching a business online, and taking sort of that fun activity that they do in social media and turning into something that's profitable, what would be some of the benefits and challenges of having an online business?
Well, the benefits and what I love the most about having my business online and running a virtual operation is that you have freedom and flexibility that you don't necessarily have with, a brick and mortar business, or when you have to be meeting with clients constantly. So it is freedom like you've never felt before. I've traveled to over 60 countries. Most of that time I was running my business. My partner for We Mastermind, Natalie Sisson, calls herself the suitcase entrepreneur. She lives
Suitcase.
out of a suitcase and runs her business while she travels. So you really do have an opportunity to build a business that gives you a lot of freedom. Now, some of the challenges you ask about, well, it can be challenging sometimes, especially if you're using all these cloud computing tools, you have your business online, you're running this virtual operation, and you're working from, a country that isn't a developed country. Let's say you're traveling. I had this one experience in Croatia where I needed to get a report sent off to a client, and they have so many holidays there that it seemed like every day was a holiday. And I ran around for 4 hours looking for an internet cafe to be able to send off this report because I could not get a wireless connection anywhere. So there are some challenges sometimes. We had a challenge with Skype this morning, so you know how some of those tools can be. But the benefits far outweigh those challenges. And like I said, freedom, sweet freedom.
It's a beautiful word. And traveling to 60 countries, what an amazing accomplishment. But one of the things that you said earlier, you said that the barrier to entry were low. I think that some women watching this might say, I do not agree with Natalie, because the barrier to entry called technology is a really huge one for me, and I have no idea how to overcome that. So what would you say to somebody who said that to you?
Well, I completely understand that not everyone, I actually run a tech company and media company, so I have a pretty technical skill set that I understand a lot of other people don't necessarily have. And there are a lot of women, especially, who are uncomfortable using the technology. So Natalie and I really make an effort to give as many easy solutions as we can. There are some solutions that are a lot simpler than others. For example, we're using one shopping cart right now,
Yeah.
and the learning curve on that would be a little bit higher than something like eJunkie. So if you want to sell an information product, everyone has knowledge that they can share and sell to somebody online, to someone who needs what you are offering. So if you wanted to sell something like an ebook or a report, you can use a platform like eJunkie at ejunkie.com, and that is a lot easier to use than something like one shopping cart, and you can still have an affiliate team on eJunkie. So there's always a different solution that can let you break into the online business world a little easier than others. Shopify is another one right now for setting up an online store, and they really kept the technically challenged in mind when they built Shopify, because it's a very easy to use platform, and if you spend just a bit of time with it, a lot of people, I think, even if you're not comfortable with technology, you could figure this one out, and they have some great tutorials.
And the other thing as well, one shopping cart indeed is more complicated than an eJunkie, or a complement to eJunkie would be ClickBank.
Yes.
But the beautiful thing with the internet, you can most likely go on the search engine of YouTube and type any type of software with the word tutorial attached to it. So one-on-one shopping cart, not one-on-one, one shopping cart tutorial, and chances are you'll find dozens of videos walking you through the basics. And a lot of these companies have tutorials and FAQ, so questions and answers that basically can help guide you along the way in terms of understanding the technology. And of course, there's always that beautiful word called outsourcing.
There's always outsourcing too, exactly. And that's something that we really advocate for in We Mastermind, because you really can't do it all. And if, you go through these tutorials, it still seems like you're going to struggle with this, or it's going to really stress you out. You do not want that stress in your life. So just outsource, and you can use, Elance, you can use Odesk. There's a lot of great services now on Fiverr that people will do for you for $5. Why not use it?
Love Fiverr.
Fiverr's amazing.
I found the most talented graphic designer on Fiverr. We started on Fiverr, and now, well, we've taken it to the point where he does all of my graphic stuff, and it's
That's amazing.
$5, and I have spent hundreds of dollars in the past just designing one logo, or hundreds of dollars designing my Facebook fan page. And thanks to this really amazing resource called Fiverr, it's been really great. And again, it's a way for people to try out some outsourced people, and if it doesn't work, then you don't have a long-term contract or anything of that nature. You just don't have to continue with them, and you can go out and find somebody else.
Yes, and sometimes it's hit and miss, but there are so many amazing providers, and really at the end of the day, you're going to be out $5 if it doesn't work out. So
exactly, and
it's worth the risk.
It absolutely is, because on the flip side, you can actually, for $5, which is a really low investment, you can actually find somebody really great that you want to work with on a long-term base. So,
yes.
Absolutely. Now, one thing that you said earlier in this conversation, you said that everybody has something some knowledge that they can sell. And one of the things that I've found out recently, thanks to an expert in sort of the baby boomers generation, is that female baby boomers are starting businesses more and more now.
Yes.
Due to the huge demographic. I mean, some of them have gone through divorce. Sometimes the husband has passed away. Sometimes they've been in a corporation for years on end, and they realize that their soul, they may be earning money, but their soul are left, cold and unhappy and unfulfilled, and they're looking to expand themselves into a different way. And becoming an entrepreneur for a lot of them has become very interesting. So if we take that group of women who spent, I'm not sure, 30, 40 years working or with some kind of experience, even if it's being a mom, my gosh, I mean, that's a PhD just right there, who would like to take their information and their knowledge and turn it into a product that they sell online. How would they go about it? Because right now I think that a lot of people going online will see what we call the gurus showing you how to sell products, and sometimes it's, it's very male driven, and it's a little sometimes aggressive. Not that I don't like men, I love men, but women approach things and women, we approach things differently. So
Yes.
a woman who has all of this knowledge and who's thinking, I'd like to go online, but I have no idea how to take that knowledge, package it, and sell it, how would you help them? And or specifically your program, the program you created with the suitcase entrepreneur, we Mastermind, how could women benefit from that?
So we like to start with the sweet spot, the intersection between what you know, what you're really good at and love doing, and what people will pay you to do. So you build a product or a service off of that sweet spot, and it's all about packaging it in the right way and then going through. We have what's called a lucrative launch plan. It's a full blueprint for launching a product or a service online. We take you through the development, the planning, we take you through the setup, all those technical details that you're really worrying about. We go through all of that in the blueprint. We go through the marketing, we go through the different software, how to set it up, what you need to have in your website, how to get that website up and running, how to build your newsletter, how to build up your email list, how to contact the right affiliates, build out a power affiliate team, all the way up to the post-launch. So this blueprint is actually available as a free download at wemastermind.com right now. So if you wanted to go through that and check out all those steps, you're more than welcome to download that. And we go through each of those steps in detail in We Mastermind because we understand that there can definitely be challenges. And it's also really important for women to learn from other women.
I agree.
We've found in the past. Don't you agree?
I agree. I totally agree.
So it's something that we've put a lot of time into, and we're just really, really excited to get it out there to help more women because we've been able to use this system for our own businesses. And I think that's really important to note because there are so many programs, there are so many books where people say, well, you can do this and this and this and this, but they haven't necessarily done it themselves for their own businesses. And this system is how we run our businesses. So we've become very well versed in it, and we really want to help apply it to more women's businesses because we know the power that it has to reduce that stress, to help you to have that freedom, because how many people go into business and they have all these big dreams and big ideas and they're really excited, and then they jump in, and as time goes by they realize, oh no, what have I got myself into? Is this what I really want? I'm working way too many hours. This isn't what I had in mind. And we want to turn that all around so that the business that you have today is the one that you wanted to start when you first started dreaming about working for yourself.
And the fact that you're able to take people by the hand and take them through all of the stages, when you talk about reducing stress and frustration, that's huge. And of course, that allows you to focus on what you're good at, your talent, and not be bogged down by...
Exactly. And we have an accountability partner that we're going to give you because it's so important to share your goals with other people. Even if it's just a friend that you go out for coffee with once a week and say, this is what I'm committing to do this week, and then holding each other accountable. It's so important to have that partner. It's so important to have the support system. And that's what we're really wanting to provide more women with, is that support system. We have the monthly coaching calls so that you can ask us questions. If you have any questions about any of our tutorials, any of the workbooks, we are there to answer them and to coach you through that process.
Well, Natalie, I am going to have links. So if the ladies watching this who have knowledge that they would like to share with the world.
Share your knowledge.
Share with, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
The world needs you.
Exactly.
And the world doesn't need you to be bogged down or afraid of technology. And that is why Natalie have created this really great program. So Natalie, thank you so much for sharing this with us today.
Thank you so much for having me today. And even if you, are afraid, if there's that fear, you can work through that and you can commit to ship a product and share your knowledge with the world because the world does need you, as you said. So look forward to seeing you at wemastermind.com.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.